Welcome to Biology Made Easy. We are now in ecology. In today's lesson, we'll explain the term ecology. Ecology is the study of relationship between living organisms and their physical environment. Relationship between living organisms and the physical environment. And this is also known as abiotic factors. So if it's the study of the relationship between living organisms and their physical environment, if we look at a picture that we have, you can see the living organisms are the plants, grass, there's flowers. We can imagine that there will be animals like squirrels, ants, butterflies, because of the flowers in the place. These are the living organisms. And the physical environment, you see we have clouds there. There will be water vapor in there. It can rain sometimes from the clouds. You have sunlight, temperatures will be there, pressure, humidity, wind speed, wind direction, soil, you have soil, water, pH, mineral salts, etc. This forms the physical environment. The picture there, you can have all these, isn't it? We have clouds. Now, ecology is the study of not only living organisms, their relationships, and not only the relationships between these physical environment, there is interaction between these living organisms, and we are looking at the interactions between these living organisms. There will be feeding interactions. Squirrels will take something from the plants. So the plants will give squirrels something, that is an feeding interactions. The butterflies will be feeding on nectar and the flowers. So we have feeding interactions that forms the food chains. We'll talk further about them in another lesson. There will also be biological associations. Just the presence of these organisms will provide shade to some organisms. We can have mutualism, where organisms benefit from each other. Predation, where one organism is preying on another one. You can have parasitism. We'll discuss all these in detail. But there are interactions among the living organisms, feeding and biological associations. Then when you come to the physical environment, we have also interactions among the parts that form the physical environment, the abiotic. For instance, we can have sunlight that heats the system. The sunlight increases temperature and so heats soil. We'll get soil water evaporating. The water evaporation will increase humidity. Humidity will cause more water vapor, and then the water vapor will form clouds. So there is interaction among the abiotic factors as well. There is also interaction between the living organisms and the non-living organisms. So we have living organisms here, biotic, abiotic, the non-living, and this is the interaction between them. So finally, we have living organisms here, non-living organisms here, and there is interaction. And that is the study of relationship between living organisms and non-living organisms. That's ecology. So let's look at some of the interactions and how it goes. Ecology is the study of the relationship between living organisms and the non-living things or non-physical environment. The relationship is an interaction between living organisms, as we have seen, interaction between the abiotic factors, and interactions between the two neatly to form a unit. So we see here the biotic factors. If you have a plant like this, there will be interaction between the living things, the plant and the squirrel will take some food, and then feces of the squirrel, fur, dead leaves, they will decompose to form mineral salts, which is non-living, and the mineral salts will finally get back to the plants. And then still the non-living, you have sunlight hitting soil, and the soil gets hot, increases temperature, and it goes to affect the plant that does transpiration, losing a lot of water vapor. So this is what ecology does, studying the relationships, the interactions among living things and non-living things, and how it goes to maintain a system that is found to be stable. The only outside input tends to be sunlight. So that is ecology, simply explained. This is the end of our lesson for today. The lesson has been useful. Give us your likes and kindly subscribe. Thank you.